Hello everyone, Phoenix61 here with some more Skull and Bones. We have some Heaven's Mandate guns today. So these are new craftable regular style cannons, culverins, whatever you want to call them, that you can now actually craft, right? The blueprint was out there before, but now you can actually craft these because you can do the appropriate corresponding monster hunt from the Sea People Hunt Master, right? So this is the new dragon fight, which is really cool, by the way. So I just released a video on that as well, so go check that out if you haven't seen that one yet either. But basically, you go to the Sea People Hunt Master, and this is where you can buy the blueprint for the Heaven's Mandate guns. So, and then you do need 75 monstrous teeth to get this, right? So if you don't have that, you'll have to go and do just some general monster hunting, right? Pretty much everything gives you, pretty much all the monster hunts, right, give you some monstrous teeth, and then whatever their unique drop is. But the lightning dragon claws are what you need for Heaven's Mandate. You know, there's some other higher end materials in here as well, so keep that in mind. You may have to go hunting for some other things and or do some crafting at the refinery. Some of those higher end stuff take like an hour to craft, so keep that in mind. You may want to get one or two of those items going while you're on the hunt for the dragon claws to be able to craft these things. But you can always do, you know, I always recommend these couple of missions too, because you get chests out of them as well, so you can have the chance to get some more like monstrous teeth and other good materials. But here is where the fight is. There's a lot of stuff going on in this area right now, but Divine Retribution is the harder version of it. And like I said, you know, it shows level 13 there, so kind of take that as what you feel like doing. And then this is the Heir to the Throne. This is the easier version of it, right? So this one shows up at level 9. Honestly, I have had no problem doing the harder variant of it. I actually kind of feel like it's a little too easy. Normally with other, and then here's where a lot of the other, monster hunts are, right? So these are cycling in and out all the time now, which is really, really great. But yeah, for the dragon fight, I feel like it's a little too easy. So, have at it, right? In my video, I recommended long guns. And then this From the Deep one is the very easiest, right? That's the very first sea monster that you were ever able to hunt from Season 1. So that's up there too if you want an easy one. But yeah, you can always just make the rounds. If you need monstrous teeth, just go and do them all and do a call for help on the harder ones, right? Have at it. So we'll go over to the blacksmith here, and I'll show you what all you need to craft these. I've actually already crafted a couple. And then also this week, now you can, there's a new armor piece. It's called Phoenix something. And you can craft that now as well if you have enough of the materials. But yeah, here is Heaven's Mandate. So now that you've bought the blueprint, it'll show up in here. And like I said, it's got, so I would need another worm, volatile, napalm, right? The NAFTA is tough to get to. One of the convoys, over kind of near the coast of Africa, that like top left of the map, does drops. Some of those guys drop actually I think I'm going to do it in this video later, right? But yeah, here's where you can craft the worm, volatile, napalm, and right, it requires some high-end materials itself to like get it going. But yeah, this NAFTA too, if I'm even saying that right, I feel like I just can't pronounce some of these. That one you can get from the convoy. I'll show you which one I'm talking about here in a minute. But some of the ships that you kill there usually drop it, so that's a really good source for those, so that you don't have to sort of waste your materials. Well, not waste, but you don't have to use all of those, right? You don't have to use your materials to craft them. But here it is, the Phoenix Crest. So this is new as well that you can get now. Also, to get this blueprint, you just need to progress through the Season 3 story, right? So new storyline for the season released this week. And so you can get through that. I had a little issue. There's like a treasure chest you have to dig up at the end. I had a little issue. I had to like track it and then untrack it, and then I like signed out and signed back in, and then it let me dig up the chest. So keep that in mind. You might have a little glitchiness there, but yeah, it's doable, right? I felt a little buggy at the last step. But this has some effects where if you're bracing and when you get hit from bracing or while bracing, it'll cause the taunt status effect on the enemies that are hitting you, which is actually really, really nice. And I'm going to show you the build that I'm doing with this, because I feel like I've tried to do like a jack of all trades when it comes to this build. But yeah, and then we're getting, the armor rating looked a little high there. I think the armor rating on the Phoenix Crest is a little bit higher than some, I think it was like 12,000 or 1,240 or so. Yeah, this is the, what is this one called? But yeah, this, this convoy here that we're doing is the one that, these, ships tend to drop. Yeah, opulent opportunity. There it is, right? So these ships tend to drop some of the naphtha, right? So this is a good one to do. And then I think you can maybe even get like chests too. But anyway, this is it's pretty easy too, right? These ships are level 7, and so we are using the Heaven's Mandate guns on the sides here. And the trick with these is, as you trigger the electrified status effect, then you have, so we got some of the naphtha there. As you trigger the electrified status effect, right, as the ship is electrified, then when you hit them again while they're electrocuted, right, it has a chance to have that like 1,500 damage lightning bolt come down. So the reason if you notice, I'm using the brig for this, right, and the reason I'm doing that, and I will show you this in the build too, but it has the most guns when it comes to top and below deck weapons, right? If you're using regular style like culverins or the like shotgun style cannons too, right? If you're using, with the exception of top deck weapons, which you still get 4 spots on this ship as well, but you get 8, right? So you'll get 8 guns on each side if you're using regular style culverins, right? So my thought process there was, we'll have more cannons, and then then that increases your chances of getting those lightning strikes, just because you're getting, those couple of more hits, right? So I think most of the other, like the DPS variant ships, a lot of them have like between top and below deck weapon slots, it's like 7, right? So it's really only like 1 more cannon on each side. So have at it with, have your opinion there, whether that's worth it or not, if you like or dislike the brig here. But we did get it upgraded to level 13. Yeah, as you can see, pretty much with most enemies, 1 volley from a broadside volley with these Heaven's Mandates gets the enemy into the electrified like status effect like instantly, right? So yeah, we took 1 there, and he was even at a decent range, and he's electrocuted now. And what's nice there too, like I think strategy-wise, especially with convoys here, is it's a smart idea to try and electrocute multiple ships, right? Because as they're electrified, anything that's near them occasionally gets zapped by them as well. But yeah, Opulent Opportunity is a good convoy to do for naphtha. It's probably actually the best way to get it. So let's go into the build. So yeah, like I said, you might not have expected the brig, and honestly, when it comes to like ship builds, like I love customizing ships in this game, but I kind of picked the ship that would best suit the weapons, whereas normally what I recommend is to build into the ship perks, right? Like, take your ship, for example, Sandbook's an easy one, right? It has fire perks, so just load it up with fire weapons, right? Like that kind of thing. But this one has some kind of unique, oddball, sometimes not as useful, right? perks that have to do with like the buoys, and yeah, but consecutive weapon hits on a target increases the effectiveness of the buoys. It's just kind of weird, and it's like circumstantial too. So we will build into that a little bit here. I'm not using repair weapons, and so this is a little bit better for repair weapons, but I'm not going that route. But you can see 1,000-Year Monsoons, Heaven's Mandate on both sides, and then Infernal Maw. And then I did equip Phoenix Crest. I think in the clip before I didn't have it on. I think I was using something else. And then Rigging Station, Companion Screens, We'll go through all of the furniture pieces here. I think there's a lot you could do to like kind of mix and match however you feel like it, right? Like, yeah. But yeah, 1,000-Year Monsoon. So these are a new Season 3 weapon. You get these from the bartender in St. Anne. You do need sovereigns, right? So you have to be underway with collecting pieces of 8. But what I'm doing here is, so these cause flood, right? So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to build this like all-out status effect build. And so the 1,000-Year Monsoons trigger flood and have a chance to cause severe damage. So I've got these bombards in the front and back, and then Heaven's Mandate on each side. And as you can see, it says, if you see where it says gun ports on the weapon card here, this is how you can tell how many cannons you're actually getting out of this. But yeah, with this one, if a target is afflicted with the electrified status effect, hits have a 15% chance to summon a devastating lightning strike that deals 1,500 electric damage. It's decent. I wouldn't say it's great. Because as you can see, the damage of the cannon itself does 1,795, right? But yeah, as you can see at the top, towards the top of the weapon card here, you can see, damage, reload, range, gun ports is 8, right? So most other ships, the most they have is 7. So that's why I went with the brig, right? I felt like I'd get the most out of it. You get extra shots, so you get your one extra 15% chance to cause an extra lightning strike, right? So. And then Infernal Maw for the Ox weapon. So this is our fire, right? So now we've got the potential to cause flooding, the potential to cause electric, and the potential to cause fire, right? So these, and the Infernal Maw actually works really, really good when you're also using bombards, because the bombards have the explosive effect. So if you've got one of these buoys near an enemy, a lot of times when you shoot said enemy with a bombard, it's going to cause the buoy to explode. And in the Infernal Maw's case, that creates fire freaking everywhere, which is really, really cool. Phoenix Crest, I'm starting to like this ship. Like I said, the armor rating, see how it says 1,400 something? So I'm getting, I think it's like 1,200, I think it's 1,240 base, right? So some of the furniture pieces are making it look a little bit higher, and I'll show you which furniture pieces I'm using. But every hit received while bracing will build up the taunted status effect on an attacking enemy. So now we're also doing, and then there's this, gloat perk as well, increased brace strength recovery, like that kind of thing. So, but now we're able to cause flood, we're able to cause fire, we're able to cause electric, and we're able to cause taunt, right? So this is like an all-out epic, like elemental build that we've done here. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I think I still like the battle junk a little bit better from this season. And then I like the long guns, the electric variant long guns that you get from the Smuggler's Pass, right? So, and as you can see, I'm using, war drums would be good here. I'm always a sucker for for what is the rigging station or whatever this major furniture piece is, right? So, and then munitions mixer would also be a good idea, since we are going for this sort of elemental effect build, right? Increased flood and ablaze duration, like that's pretty good, right? It does reduce the damage dealt by those effects, but not a big deal. Companion screens, right? This has a huge effect from basically all sorts of fire-resistant damage, right? You get these from fighting the Huback twins, the Season 2 boss guys. So that's probably the best way to get those. If not, you can always check, the rotating Black Market and William Blackwood, right? So beam supports, these are coming from current season boss drops, I believe. But again, always check, we get increased hull health and armor health. Amber coating station, this one's probably a must for this build for using Heaven's Mandate, because it buffs the Stormstruck status effects, as you can see there. So highly recommend that one for when you're using Heaven's Mandate guns. And then I'm using Culverin Works 1 to try and help out with the effects of the culverins, right? So Heaven's Mandate, those are regular style culverins, right? So increases secondary damage of culverin by 19%. I'm not sure if that helps with the electrification effect, right, or not, but yeah. And then Companion Spirits Locker, I don't know how I feel about this one. I've been playing around with the furniture pieces on here, you know, but reduces crew stamina depletion. You know, this one's specific to like flooding and torrent sales, right? But increases brace strength and increases armor rating. So that's kind of, those are the ones I was going for there, right? And then, yeah, here we are fighting Bertrand Hubach. We're kind of close to the end of the fight, and we do have the new Phoenix armor on in this case. So you can see occasionally when we're actually remembering to use our brace that he does get the taunted status effect, which is really, really helpful, right? Because then he'll do less damage to you while he's under that effect. So it's really, really nice. And then, yeah, we've got him almost flooded. We just electrocuted him, and then yeah, now he's almost taunted as well, right? So just the like combination of all these like status effects, and then you can see the lightning coming down. You're pretty much guaranteed at least a couple extra lightning strikes whenever you hit him, you know, especially when you've got 8 guns on each side. So it works really, really well. I do feel like the lightning strike itself like could be like, you know, maybe like 2,000 damage or something, you know, like, or the percent chance should be higher than 15%, right? It doesn't feel that strong. Like, I feel like I'm doing more when I'm using the, like I said, the long guns from the Smuggler's Pass for this season, right? So they're still good. They're a lot of fun. I would say, you know, the carronades from last season were really good. Those were, in my opinion, those were the best regular style cannons, culverins. And now I would say these are better, right? I like these better. They cause the electric status effect. And then doing this like full out elemental build is a lot of fun, right? So we can cause flood, we can cause fire, we can cause electric, and we can cause taunt now at this point, right? So, and yeah, these extra, you know, the adds in here, right? The regular ships that coming up. So this is the level 11 boss fight for season 3 here. They go down in one volley with the 8 cannons from Heaven's Mandate, right? So that's really fun. So yeah, some like lower level enemies, it really only takes 1 salvo from a broadside, and you're golden, right? And then yeah, we do decent damage to the boss as well. So she goes down pretty quick here. And yeah, so yeah guys, thanks for watching. That is going to be our video for the day. We will just finish this fight really, really quickly, but if you're enjoying my Skull and Bones content, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment if you've got anything you want me to put videos out on, any questions or anything like that, drop them in there. I usually try and answer everybody, but absolutely make sure you are following the channel. Please do subscribe, that really helps me out. And yeah, we will see you guys next time.